If you're anything like me, then you'll know how good Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles was back on the Mega Drive. It's one of those games I'll never get bored of playing. Well, how about Sonic 4? We're getting that later this year in 2010, which is quite a substantial release gap from 1994. We all know that Sonic got lost out there in the 32-bit console wars. What about him though? Surely they thought of doing a Mega Drive follow-up before now? Well, they did, and they wanted it to play differently. They wanted it to play cooperatively. Who better for a co-op game than Sonic and Tails? People were already playing Sonics 2 and 3 in co-op unofficially anyway, but Sonic would always claim the camera. Second player would usually get pissed off and walk out. How could they stop that? How could they make it into a gameplay mechanic? By tying them together like perverts, of course. Here we have Sonic Crackers, or Sonic Studium, which is completely unfinished and features Sonic and Tails. Take a note of Sonic's sprite here. You see how they're joined together by those rings they're holding? It's rough with animations missing, and Tails has an odd way of outrunning you or vanishing into walls, but this isn't meant to play perfectly. It wasn't meant to be seen. So let's see what exactly Knuckles Chaotix is and what it has in store for us then. Whoa! It introduced Knuckles the Echidna in top billing, unless you count Knuckles the Echidna in Sonic 2, which I don't. And the dreadlocked Australian egg layer is important for where we're going with this. What did Knuckles do after he and Sonic made up? Well, we're going to be getting Sonic 4 soon and we might just find out. However, here's another story. Knuckles stumbles across a new island where he discovers a group of characters who've been frozen in time inside strange machines. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but all you need to know right now is that Eggman and Metal Sonic are here too. Anyone remember the 32X? What?
It's here, we've got work!
What?
That's nice, kid. Well, I'm not surprised you don't remember it, to be honest. This mushroom cloud of an add-on bowed out faster than I can even explain. Basically, it was marketed as an upgrade that made your humble Mega Drive into competition for the PlayStation, ahead of the Saturn.
Some nerve promising what you ain't got. We've been had. Just wait a minute. Just listen to me.
Of course you know who Knuckles is. Recently, he was in the employ of Dr. Eggman himself as he was tricked into seeing Sonic as the enemy. He's so hardcore that he can punch the emeralds right out of the usually invincible Super Sonic. With power like that, you're probably wondering how this guy hasn't had another game based on his own experience since. In this game, he plays much like he did in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, with the ability to climb walls and glide across the screen. Despite his rather butch name, Mighty the Armadillo is a Sonic the Hedgehog sprite edit. He's appeared before in a similar faculty alongside Sonic and Ray the Squirrel on Sega Sonic Arcade, which is a trackball game you probably haven't played. You want someone who plays like Sonic? Well, you've got him right here. His animations are essentially all recyclings of the more famous hedgehogs. However, this guy can wall kick like he's Samus Aran or something. He and Knuckles are probably the most rounded characters available, as you'd expect from Sonic and Knuckles. Mighty and Knuckles. Oh, you know what, screw it! Charmy B is the smallest character. He isn't all that great in a fight. The advantage to him is that he can sort of fly, performing dashes in the air when you tap the jump button. Tails have spoiled you. Strangely, he's the only character who's lost age in the transition from Chaotix to Heroes, dropping from the 16-year-old to a 6-year-old. I mean, how many girls wish they could do that? SBO is the first character that you'll meet. Out of all the characters created for Chaotix, he's been the most successful. Though, that isn't a huge-ass achievement, since his only real rival to that claim is Charmy B. Though even that's debatable, since Charmy had a manga appearance first. SBO can run up and down walls, and has the most unconventional spin attack out of the bunch. He really steals the show and went on to star in Sonic the Fighters as well, alongside other newly introduced characters like Fang the Sniper. Please bring back Fang, Sega. It's better than any of the other shit you've come up with. Lastly, we have Vector the Crocodile. What, all that and still no Sonic and Tails? Blasphemy. Vector was initially designed as a member of Sonic's band in the scrap sound test from the first Sonic the Hedgehog, meaning that on a technicality, Vector is one of the oldest extant characters in the franchise. Here, contrary to later appearances as the leader of Team Chaotix Detective Agency, is the speediest character in the game. He's a pretty cool guy and jams out with his headphones if you leave him waiting around. Vector can also climb on walls in a similar vein to Knuckles.
Find the computer room!
Fuck off, you stupid reptilian twat! You select the main character to play as when you enter the game, but your partner is selected via a combi capture device, what this game calls a grabber machine. The claw will pick up a character it touches, and the machine will throw them out. You want Knuckles and Vector? Go for it! Espio and Mighty? Sure, buddy! Just be careful. Knuckles and his squad also have 2 more aides coming with them, Heavy the Mechanic and Bomb the Bomb. They're somewhat duff and they're there to give you a little bit of an extra hard time. However, they claim that they're here to help and have recently escaped from Dr. Eggman. Heavy is exactly how he sounds. He slows you down and can't really jump very far. Bomb ain't heavy. He's explosive. If things get dangerous, he just shuts down and self-destructs. What, 1 hit and he thinks the world's ending? God damn, he sucks more than Big the Cat. So basically these two are kinda shitty, etc. Wait, I take that back. I think I'd rather have an explosive partner than fish for frogs. The game has a kind of hub zone where you can quit the game, choose a new partner, or enter stages that are selected at random. There are 5 worlds in the game, each with 5 levels. Think of these as the acts in the previous games. At the end of the 5th round, you square off against Dr. Eggman. While you're playing, the time of the day can change depending on the time you take to complete it. The time of the day will change the way the bosses work and where enemies are found in affected stages. So how about that cooperative play? Well, you'll be using 2 characters the whole time whether you're in 2-player mode or not. Both are joined together with an elastic energy known as the Ring Force. The tension between your duo is part of the gameplay and allows a whole bunch of new moves based around it. I'll look into that later. The camera doesn't follow any one character in particular either, which allows 2 people to progress without the other getting lost like what happened with Tails in previous games, because at maximum stretch the 2 are never far enough away for that not to be on the same screen. If your partner's idle, they'll be dragged along by your character anyway. You share rings. In single player, your AI partner getting hit will only cost you 1 ring, but if your main character gets hit, the standard Sonic rules apply. You lose all of your rings. But there's a twist. If you've obtained a combine ring from one of the item boxes, then getting hit will cost you to lose all of your rings, combined into a single large ring, make it much easier to claim back your rings. As well as the combi ring, you can obtain other items from these boxes, but you won't see many of them. There's the Sonic standards that you'd expect: invincibility, 1-hit use shield, and a super ring worth 10 whole rings. Then there are items unique to this game that are just weird. Shrink and grow power-ups do exactly what they say on the tin, allowing you to show off the game's sprite scaling and, well, not much else really. It's like Alice in Wonderland or some shit. It lets you jump higher, I suppose? The swap item switches you with your partner for 20 pointless seconds, and finally the change monitor swaps the character that opened it for the character displayed on the box. The levels themselves are designed very differently to how they are in most Sonic games. They care less about speed running and are usually multi-layered and even have the odd puzzle thrown in that can be solved by the use of both of your characters. My main complaint with these levels is how sparse they are. There are nowhere near as many robots as there usually are, and other hazards are few and far between. Most of your time will be spent messing around with the new tension abilities. And I said I'd talk about them later, so here goes. In this game, the spin dash has been significantly weakened. Usually a charge rev will be snapped to a standstill by your partner who's still walking like a slug behind. This is where the chargeable run comes in. If you need to tackle a run, have your partner hold you in place while you run in the opposite direction. Here you can charge energy until you're into a full run animation. After this you can let go of the direction and it will snap you back. Just as you're passing the other character, let go of the hold button and the 2 of you will go sailing forward at high speed. It's more complicated than pressing down an A, but hey, it's trying to be different. If you end up going onto a higher platform than your partner, they'll hang. You can bring them back up by holding down and then releasing. You see how this works now? It's all a bit, well, it's all a bit boring, really. Also, if you stand still for too long, Metal Sonic comes and attacks you. What an asshole! Wait a minute. No Sonic, but there's a Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic is also a freaking huge badass in this one that attacks you with his sprite-scaling powers of doom. The end is kind of anticlimactic though, and this is no Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Just don't go in expecting the greatest Sonic game of all time, and you should enjoy it. It's not going to change your life, but at least you'll be able to say, hey guys, I've played a moderately entertaining Sega Mega Drive 32X game, and that's more than most people can say. With all the other Sonic games coming out at the same time being absolutely shit or just never materialising, this is one of the best games you can get from that period. For the best ending you need to complete special stages as usual. These are again pseudo 3D, although with significantly more polygons than you'd find in the Mega Drive. Blue spheres are the goal again, and the threat is that you can fall out of the stage. I don't really like these stages as much as the ones from earlier games though. Getting the best ending makes Sonic and Tails show up in non-playable forms, for absolutely no reason. Sega, seriously. Let us use the main characters of your damn franchise. People might have actually bought it if they'd have associated it with Sonic the Hedgehog. Not that anyone had a 32X, but they may have. You never know. It's hardly the Super FX chip, but you're doing good. If you do get a chance to play this game, then go for it. You might not feel as free as you do in Sonic games, and it plays slower than you're used to, simply because of the level design being mostly about climbing using tension, because honestly the hardware isn't going to struggle with it if it can manage the other thing without this bloody add-on. But it's better than most recent Sonic games. If you can look past all the randomly or seemingly luck-based selections the game makes and get used to being tied to an anchor, then you should get some enjoyment out of this. You may not be able to push yourself all the way through the game, but hell, it tried to mix up gameplay and showcase the powers of this new machine. This is a Sonic game. It's one of the best looking Sonic games from the period. And hell, you could go play Sonic 3D if you wanted to. Yeah? I thought not.